Hey everybody, welcome back to what may be our last video in this series. We'll see how far we get with the making all our inserts, and if we get all those done then we'll do our embellishment. If not, we'll break it into 2 videos. We are doing the mini album number 2 from the Quiet Cat Paper Company. This guide is available on my website, excuse me, not my website, my Etsy shop, which is the Quiet Cat Paper Co. And today we have made it, we've done all the pages and we've made it to the inserts. Okay, and it's got all the measurements. I'm going to give you measurements as much as I can. Some of these inserts are templates that are included with this guide, but if you don't have the guide, you should be able to manage with making your own or using something that you already have. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things you might want to have on hand. These are just standard office reinforcement, hole reinforcements. I got these on Amazon. I think it was $500 in the pack. They were from Avery, and I just brushed my blender tool with a little ink over them to give them some color. All right, so some of these in colors to match your whatever paper line you're using. And then you will want maybe some baker's twine or a little ribbon, some of your seam binding, something like that. Okay, you should have that. And we've been using that throughout, so you probably have something like that. And then I also have, and I've shown you these before, from the paper line, I've got the sticker sheet and I've got some chipboard. I'll be using those. And I have, I didn't actually have a lot in the way of flowers that matched this paper line, and I had a hard time finding much of anything. But I went to the store this morning and I picked up a few packets of flowers, so we'll have those. And I also have the ephemera pack, which we've been using throughout, and we're definitely going to use that. So that's a few things that you'll want to have on hand. You, depending on the paper line, you know, if you, or just your personal taste. Whoops. I have these glittery little dots, none of which are sticking to their packet. I happen to like shiny things, so, you know, you might want something like that, or some buttons, or whatever you've got in the way of decorative items in your stash. All right, so let me grab my guide so we can go along. And here's our book, which is really cute. We'll do the cover last. All right, and I have an idea for this, which I'm also going to do last. We're going to do our inserts first, okay? There are 4 side pocket inserts, okay? Now let me grab, if you do have, excuse me, reach here. If you do have the guide, then you also have the templates for, get that out of the way, for the various tags, okay? And they are at the back of the book here, all right? Now you'll notice that these 2 pages look alike, but this one is the tags, and this one is, this one's the tags, this one's the mats. And the reason I didn't put any text on here telling you which is which is I thought you might want to print these right onto your pattern paper, and you weren't going to want writing on them. But you can tell that one is just slightly smaller than the other, okay? So go ahead and cut out from cardstock templates that you can trace. And if you don't have this, don't worry, I'll give you approximate measurements. All right, so the first thing that you're going to need is tag D and its accompanying mat. And you're going to need 4 of these. And, all right, so this is 6 by 4 1/4. So if you can find something that's approximately that size, if you don't have the mats, I mean, if you don't have the templates, you need 4 of those. And I've got mine already cut, so let me, you actually need 5. You're gonna need another one, but for the side pocket inserts, you need 4. All right, so I decided to use this navy cardstock that we've been using throughout. You see that? And then I didn't have enough, because these are pretty big, I didn't have enough of any one paper to make 4 mats, so I made 2 orange and 2 blue. And like so, and I just took my template, grab that, laid it on the paper, traced around with a pencil, and cut it out with my scissors. And don't forget to mark the hole. Go ahead and get these inked up. And I'm using Distress Oxide Walnut Stain from Ranger for my ink. Now, depending on the paper line that you're using, you do not necessarily need to cut both a tag and a mat. When I did the version in the Prima Love Story that we've been using as an example, that paper is pretty heavyweight as compared to this Graphic45 paper, and I just cut the tags and the inserts directly out of that paper, and I didn't use cardstock and a mat. I just used the pattern paper. Got all my mats inked up, and I have glued 3 of them down, and I want to show you the 4th one, and I also want to show you one of the original mats. This is what I was talking about from the prototype. I didn't mat this, it's just cut directly out of cardstock, and I have this here because I'm going to try something different with these, but if you want to, you can do it this way, and I'll show you both. Okay, so first I am going to glue the mat. If you notice, this side has the where I want to punch a hole on it, and I'm going to turn it over. I mean, you really don't have to. It's a little difficult to see on the pattern paper. It's easier to see on that one. And I really didn't even need to draw it on the pattern paper if I had it on the back of that one. Put this where you can see it. Get my head over this, I'm not sure. Oh my goodness, that is not even nearly correct. Hang on. Let me start from the bottom here. All right. Okay, no, I did not do a great job with that, but that's okay. I'll put that one over in the stack. We'll work with one that I did a little straighter. Okay, now here's the original. What you would do is you've got the hole marked. Simply, even if you've matted it, you're going to do this the same way. You're going to take just a regular old office hole punch a hole in it, and then use a hole reinforcement. Or if you're not sure you can do it straight, you can do it the other way around. Put your hole reinforcement where you want the hole, punch through it, turn it over, and add the second hole reinforcement. And then we're going to add this. What I'm going to do different on these is, I thought because of the sort of nautical nature of this album, it might look pretty to have eyelets. So I grabbed a couple of scraps of my paper and just did one as a test. And I did like the way it looked, so that's what I'm going to do. And I am using this thing, which looks like, I don't know, medieval torture device, but basically this is a crocodile from We Are Memory Keepers, and it'll punch a hole the right size, and then it'll set the eyelet. All right, so I think I've got this one set up properly. Let me just double check. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so you put it in here, and punch the hole. I'm not even sure if I'm centered, but actually it could be a hair deeper, but we're gonna go for it. Oops, okay, hang on. Okay, so there's our hole, and you can see it's a little short of where the pencil line is, but that's okay. I can erase any leftover pencil line. Then you take your eyelet and put it in the hole that you just made. And I've already set mine up for the size eyelet that I have. And it goes this way. Oh, so you just put that, whoops, put that in there. And there you go, an eyelet. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on all 4 of mine, and I'll be right back. All right, I have got all 4 of these punched and the eyelets set, and I've got this little blue and white ribbon, blue with the white anchors. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's see. And see, so you're just going to take your, I didn't even show you what I was doing. You're going to take this ribbon, fold it in half so you have a loop. Okay, pinch it so it fits through the eyelet. You're going to insert it through the front of the tag, which is a little tricky. This is a grosgrain ribbon, so it's all stiff. It's not as easy as the seam binding would be. Now you've got a loop in the back and the 2 tails in the front, and just lift the tails up and over and through the loop, and then just pull on your tails to tighten. And that's kind of cute. Okay, so I did it on this one. So I have the 2 blue ones with the anchors, and then on the orange ones I just used my white seam binding. Okay, so where's our album? All right. So these go in the side pockets, like that, see? And then, so I've got a blue one. I'm just going to alternate these. Blue and orange. And if you are making your own because you don't have the guide, you can just do the same thing. You could cut these at an angle. You could get a little, I don't know, plate or something to cut the curve, whatever you need to do. Okay, or you can just make them straight. Okay, so there are our 4 side pocket inserts, which look really cute. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this eyelet, all my little eyelet tools, because I don't think I'm going to use it again, but I'll put it to the side just in case. And my ribbon. And I got that tool, I want to say at Hobby Lobby on a 50% off. It's a little bit pricey, like 30 bucks or something like that. But I did wait and use a coupon or got it on sale or something. I did not pay full price. Try not to pay full price ever if I can help it. Okay. Oops. All right, let me move that out of the way. All right, so we've done our side pocket insert. So let's move on to page 1. All right, and we need an insert for this pocket, an insert for this pocket, and an insert for this pocket. Okay. So this pocket, let me grab, because I know I have them all set. I believe this is them. Okay. All right, so this pocket here uses tag A with its accompanying mat. Okay, and this pocket uses tag B from the template section. And then the side pocket here, I didn't use a template. I just cut a piece from cardstock, and I used the blue, that is 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. And we're gonna mat that. And I didn't cut a mat for it because I think I'm gonna use a journal card. So I'm gonna set that aside for now and set that one aside, and we're gonna mat this one. These are the inserts that we're going to need for page 1. This one is not going to get a mat at all, but I have decided I am going to put an eyelet on it. I'm going to erase that after. And I did decide also to put an eyelet on this one, and I've already matted this one. This is tag A in the guidebook. And if you do not have the guidebook and you don't have the templates, this tag is 4 1/4 by about 3 3/8. Okay. And then I think I already gave you the measurements for this. And this I just used a corner rounder, so you shouldn't have any trouble making yourself this one. It's a little over 3 5/8 by 2 1/4. Okay, and let me get some eyelets out. And of course, you can just, if you don't have an eyelet setter or you just don't want to be bothered, go ahead and just use a hole punch and hole reinforcements like I showed you a few minutes ago, or just don't make any holes at all in it. Just leave it. Yeah, it's your project. You can do it however you like. All right, whoops. All right, so let me punch these holes. This one. Center. And this one I need to mat before I can punch the hole in it. So let's do that first. And it is a little bit big, so I need to cut it down. I wonder if I could fussy cut that. Let's try it. Let's see. These scissors are a little bit big for fussy cutting. Here, hang on, let me get little ones. Overcut that a little bit, it's all right. All right, let's see if that will fit. Hang on. Get these out of the way. Oh yeah, that's really cute. I like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and ink that up. Scissors away here. And this is Art Glitter Glue, same glue I've been using pretty much all along. Glue that. I'm going to leave this up high just in case I want to put something else down there. Haven't decided. Oh my goodness, I had a lot of glue seep-out, but I knew I had overglued it, so I'm not surprised. Let me just grab a paper towel here. And it does dry clear, but it leaves a bit of a shine, so you know, if you can avoid it, do so. As I think I've mentioned before, I've got a heavy hand with the glue. Okay, there we go. All right, so I've got that one all ready to go, that one all ready to go. And I'm trying to decide if I want, let me see. Let me show you what I was looking at. It goes in this side pocket here, and you know, I could have left it as wide as it was, but it was a little much. Okay, so I just trimmed it down. All right, and that's fine, and it does not need a hole punch or anything like that. And then these two just need their eyelets added. All right, get these out of the way. I'm just gonna erase that pencil line. I don't need it anymore. Let's see, is there one here? There is. Okay. And is there one on the front? No. Okay. All right, so insert the eyelet in. Make sure we've got the right side. All right, and then you're gonna just like insert that and press it. I don't have a lot of hand strength, and I don't have any trouble doing this with this tool. Okay, there we go. And let's bring our book over and decide what we're going to use. So this one's going in here, like that. And this one is going in here. And we definitely want something in there because that's slid in a little bit far. There's not a lot of leeway between the top of this pocket and the edge of the page, so it does have to go in pretty far. So I think I'm going to use some of this twine on this guy. Oh, excuse me, I'll be right back. Somebody just rang my doorbell. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is like a baker's twine that we're going to use here. It's silver and white, but I think it'll be fine with this gold. Okay, oops, I did that off camera, sorry. As you can see, let me just trim that a little bit. Okay, and that goes in there. And then this one, let's see, what are we going to do with this one? We could do the little anchor. I think I'm going to stick with the white. I think I'm going to use my seam binding. Oh, I didn't leave myself very much leeway. There we go. I know it's wasteful to cut it too long, but it is easier if you cut it longer. Okay. All right, there we go. That's really cute. Okay, there's that. And we have one last thing that we want to do on this page. Is find a table there. Okay. Is if you remember, we were going to come back and cover these once we had some scraps that were a good size. So I do. I'm not going to ink them because I don't want to draw attention to them. Pardon me. I just want to put them there to cover all that white. All right. So just a little bit of our glitter glue, not too much. You don't want to accidentally glue the waterfall shut. Okay. And you need 3 of these, and just measure your distance, and then it should be 2 inches long. just looks neater to have them covered. Now, if you used the ribbon holder here, you might also need to put one there. Okay. Okay. We'll fix that bow later. All right, so that is page 1. Done. All right. Now, this page, page 2, has these 2 little pockets, and let me find the pieces for that. Okay, these I cut out of white cardstock, and these are, let me get you that measurement, 2 by 2.5. I'm trying to put my pin in my twine. Okay. There we go. Now, I actually left these just plain white in the prototype, and I think I'm just going to do the same here. They're a good place to put a couple of little photos front and back. You could mat them if you like. These are pretty small pockets though, so I'm just going to leave them. However, I did, where's my other hole punch? Grab a hole punch. I did put twine on them so you can pull them in and out easier. Grab some. I'm just going to do regular hole punch on these. Let me get this out of the way. Put this over here. Okay, so here's our pieces. And they are 2 by 2.5. So just take, you can eyeball it. Okay, and this is just a regular office hole punch. Turn them over. Round on this side. You can see. I'm going to use this same twine for these. Again, you're just going to fold it in half. Insert the loop in through the front. And then pull the tails through the loop. Just like that. Do it for the other one. You could have cut these out of pattern paper if you want. Just whatever you like. Remember, you know, whatever your taste is how you should do things. There. All right, let's put these in. I thought about doing them in the blue, the way I did some of the other tags, but I was afraid it would blend in too much. And same with the orange, so I just stuck with the white. And let's tie that. That takes care of page 2. We're going to come back and add embellishments to these pages, but I just want to get the inserts done first. Okay. Now we're on page 3. And the only thing that we have to deal with here is this center pocket. Okay, and for that, you're going to need a piece of cardstock 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, and then a mat that's 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. So let me see, I've got that cut right here. Put this out of the way. And for this, I am going to use a corner punch. But first, I'm going to go ahead, put that out of the way. gonna have to re-ink the corners after I punch them, but so let's do that now. Okay, I'm gonna use this side and just have to check if it is straight. Okay, like that. And then this one. It's possible for this to go in not very straight, which I've done. Oh, like that, see? It's not my favorite punch. All right, I'm gonna keep going. And maybe we'll put a sticker or something over that, or I'll just redo it later. But you get the idea. That gets glued on there, and of course my corner is terrible. So what I think I'm going to do, I don't want to waste your time, I'm going to redo this. So for now I'm just going to put a paper clip on it so you can see how it goes. Alright, so do it so that all of your corners are neat, glue it down to there. And then that goes in there like that, okay? All right. Okay, that's all you need for that one. Now we have our belly band, and let me show you what we're going to do for that. For this, I used the envelope template that comes in the guidebook. If you do not have one, no worries. Just you could use a tag. You could use one of the ephemera cards. You could just cut a square out of your pattern paper. You could use a postcard if you're using memory keeping for a trip. So there's a lot of things you could do, but I am going to use this envelope. I've already cut it out and scored it. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it. Going to go like that, and this is going to fold down like that, okay? So let's go ahead and glue it, and run the glue just down the edge here and across, and then up here. And actually, should have inked this, but that's okay, I can do it after. Alright, I have a feeling that's too much glue right there. Oh yeah, definitely went too far up with the glue. Alright. Finish that. Okay, and let me go ahead and just ink that. You ink yours before you fold it, okay? All right. All right, that's fine. Okay. Now, for the envelope insert, I am using what you can do is cut a piece, measure for 5 5/8 by 4, and just fold it in half. And you can round the corners if you want with a corner rounder. And then that's all you need for the insert. I'm just going to ink it up. I used one of the ephemera cards that I just trimmed to the right size. And of course you could put a real little note in there, or just some pictures, or whatever you want to use. I'm just lightly inking. Okay. Alright, and that goes right in there like that. This closes. I'm not using a closure on the envelopes. You could use a magnet or something if you want, or a little. You could cut a little slice here and tuck if you wanted, but it's going under a belly band, so. Whoops, I'm knocking things over here. All right, so now you can put this in either way. You could put it in this way, or you can put it in this way, whichever way. I'm gonna put it in this way. And you could put a picture on that side too, treat it like a photo mat. Okay, so there's that. Now this page is another envelope, so you're gonna need another insert, and I have another card here that I'm gonna do that with. And then we also need a tag. So let me go ahead and do this, and I'll be right back and we'll make the tag. Okay, so this is going to be the tag for the pocket insert on page 5, and it is, I'll give you a dimension on it. This is the template. These are hand drawn, so the measurements are not exact. It's a little bit over 4 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. And then this is the envelope insert, which I made just like the one we just made, and that is just shy of 5 5/8 by a little bit under 4 inches. Okay. Sorry, I'm being so vague. Like I said, they were the templates were hand drawn. Okay, so. This is the tag, and I made a little mark where I'm going to make the hole, because I'm going to do a, what do you call it? I totally lost my train of thought. Eyelet. Okay. Let's add this. Can you see? Sorry, I keep... Intimidating tool here. And I just need to pull that back, make sure I was lined up. Punch the hole. Probably should have waited for the glue to dry, but that's okay. Insert the eyelet. And then this thing has 2 sides, this chopper sides. You need to make sure you have the correct one on the top. And then that's it. Eyelet. Okay. Let's bring our page back over. All right. Yes, this is going to go in here. We just have to decide what we're going to put there. And then this one goes in here. Go like that with the flowers up. What's on this side? Oh, that's pretty. We'll do it this way. Okay. And I think I did this off camera, but I just used the template to mat that. If you remember, we hadn't done that yet. And again, if you want to put a closure of some kind here, you can, but since there's a magnet holding everything, I'm not worried about it. All right, so what am I going to put here? Let me see. I think if you, I don't know if you can see, let me pull this. We have a blue, a white, and then there's another white and a blue. So if I put a blue here, I'm going to have blue, white, blue, and that appeals to me. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I just got this ribbon at, I don't know, Michael, no, Hobby, I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. All right. Pull that out. And the opening for these little eyelets is a little narrow, so you're going to give it a good pinch to get it through. There we go. Open up the loop, pull the tails through, and there we go. All right, this ribbon looks kind of nice with that paper too. All right, so that goes there. Just trim those a little bit. Okay, page 5 has its inserts. Let's flip over. Page 6 doesn't have any inserts, so we're okay there. And I'll move some things out of the way. I'm getting cluttered. My workspace is not very big, so I have to keep after it. All right. Now this is all flaps, so there's no insert here either, except for, of course, the side. And so the last one is page 8. And this one needs something here and something here. Okay, so we have for page 8, you need a piece 5 1/4 by 4 1/4 to go here, and then we're gonna come up with a mat for that. Okay, and then here I used just a fold over similar to what we put in the envelopes, and that is, find it. 7 by 5 5/8. So to make this, which is going to go in here, let me move this to the side. You're going to take your long piece and you're going to fold it on itself and match up your corners and then burnish it like that. Then you're going to take a corner rounder. Not that. That is not a corner rounder. All right. This is also a crocodile tool. This one is a corner rounder, but you can use any corner rounder that you have. You could even do it by hand if you need to. And I am going to use the 1/2 inch side. It does a 1/2 inch or a 1/4, and do all 4 corners. Like that. Okay, so now you have sort of like a little book, and you could staple or sew some pages into there if you want. Our belly band right here. Okay, just like that. Okay. This one needs some sort of a mat. Oops. Put that back. And if you're going to mat it, you're just going to take a 1/4 inch off each measurement and just cut it to fit. But I'm thinking I might use a journaling card on that. So hang on while I see if I can find them. Here they are. And let me see if I've got one that will work. All right, so what have we got? So we've got the postcard side, which is very cute, or the Sun Kissed. I feel like I've used this design already a fair bit though in here. So if we're going to use this one, it's going to be the postcard side. Let's see, this one's vertical, so that's not going to work. Well, I guess we could use a vertical. There's nothing that says we can't, just because it's going in that way. And that's actually really pretty too. Ooh, I like that. We used this in one of the envelopes, and that's really pretty too. Okay, that's a thought. They're all so pretty. I'm really tempted to use one of these backside postcard ones. This is really cute. She's really cute. I think that might be too much blue though. Okay, so not that one. This one I've already used the front. Don't care for the back all that much. That's pretty. The only thing is I think I have to trim this so much that we might lose the benefit of it. Maybe not though. I do like that. Hold on a second. Let me see. Get those out of the way. Let me put this on top and see. Well, I think if we trim this right on that line, I think it would be all right. And I think that looks nice. It's going to be a narrow border. How would it be this way? Oh, it would be very wide this way, though. No, I don't care for that. I like the way that looks, but I don't like what I'd have to do to make it fit. So let's try one of these other ones that we were looking at. Let's see, not that one. Although it's kind of, actually, I do kind of like that one. I like the ones that have the flowers. Sorry, can you see? One was too big. Okay, so it's between these three. And these two are the same. No, they're not quite the same. They're similar, but they're not the same. I really like all these flowers. And it's the right height. It's just the wrong length. So I mean, it's right this way, but it's wrong this way. I just need to trim a little bit here. All right, you can see why I do a lot of my matting decisions off camera, because it takes me, I fuss over it. All right, so let's see, that's 5 1/4, so I need to cut this to 5 inches. All right, hang on, let me grab my paper trimmer. This is a Fisker's paper trimmer. Going a little past the 5 because by cutting this, I'm cutting these rounded corners off. So I want to trim the rounded corners at the other end also. There we go. All right. And let's go ahead and ink this up. I could go back with a corner rounder and just re-round the corners if you want to. All right. I'll turn that to vertical while I do it. good. All right, and that one goes in here. And I'll put it that way so we can see the flowers. All right, that looks nice. All right. Then the last thing is this pocket that we added at the last minute. And for that, you're going to use the Pocket D template, which is the same template that we used for these, for the side pocket inserts. And that's going to go in here. And because I had this blue here, I just chose to use a white one for this, a white cardstock. But of course you could do, you could do it the same as all the others if you like. It's your book. You can do whatever you want. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to glue this to the back of that. Oh, let me get this inked. That's going there. Hang on, got a little crud on my glue bottle. I tend to drag the tip of the bottle through the glue and it gums up a little bit. Right. And let us glue that down. Oh my goodness, I did not do that straight at all. Well, I said several videos ago I was going to stop apologizing for doing things crooked, but that's really crooked. I don't think I can get it off. Okay, well, as I said, you do yours straight. All right, grab our crocodile. Put our I'm gonna erase that. This is just a cheapy mechanical pencil. I don't even know where I got it. But it's nothing special. There you go. Now, since we established a blue, white, blue, white, blue, white, I'm going to go ahead and use white for this one, for the ribbons. This is, what is this? Zipper stop seam binding. And I found it online. I can't remember where. I think it's fairly widely available. I'm not really sure. But I only buy the white and then I just dye it whatever color I need. The same way pretty much that I do the hole reinforcements. I do the seam binding. I just rub my ink tool over it. I'm going to call it the blender. And I left my ink open. I'll go ahead and close that. That stuff dries up pretty quick. Okay. All right. Let's try those so they're a little more even. And that's going in there. Cute. Okay, now we have all of our inserts done. We have all of our side pocket inserts done. The only thing left to do is embellish. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. This video is probably very long, so I may edit it so that you see it in two separate videos, all right? And so therefore, thank you very much for watching. please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of any new videos. Thanks so much for watching.